Hey team, so I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the inviting process. Dun dun dun. So many people are always scared of sending invites, but I promise you, once you practice it and you get your methodology down, it's really not so bad. So by the time you go to invite somebody to a challenge group or to become a coach on your team, you've probably, or you should have at least, built some sort of relationship with them, right? Nobody likes being approached on social media and randomly added and then being sent some random message to like buy something. Nobody wants to be sold, right? And you know that we're all about relationships. We're all about building those relationships so that they're strong and helping people. We're not in the business of selling. So if you're feeling like you're being kind of icky and stalkerish and selling people, you need to switch your mindset and remember that we're focusing on relationships first. So with that said, let's say you've built a relationship with someone, you've added them on Facebook, you've chit-chatted with them, gotten to know them a little bit, and maybe a couple of weeks from that conversation, that first initial conversation, it could be a month from then, it could be 2 months. It really depends on that person. And so many coaches have questions about this, like, okay, I added somebody on Facebook, we've chatted a little bit, when do I circle back around and invite them? And it really does just depend on the person. So if you feel confident enough that you've built some sort of relationship and camaraderie with that person, then go ahead and circle back around and invite them to your next challenge group. If you do it in the right approach, I can promise you it's not going to be icky. And a lot of people, especially if you're inviting them to coach, are going to feel flattered that you actually thought of them. So when you send them the initial message, it can be as simple as, hey girl, I was just putting together some things for my next health and fitness challenge group. I don't know if you've seen me post about them, but I have one starting in a couple of weeks and thought of you. I think it might be something that you'd really enjoy because of X, Y, and Z, fill in the blank. Have you ever considered jumping in one of these groups with me? And just leave it at that. And if they come back and say yes, then that's great. Then we can progress with the conversation. If they come back and say, no thanks, I'm not really interested, remember that no just means not right now. You have to get used to hear no all the time. We hear no in every single daily conversations. It happens all the time. Everyone hears no. I hear no. The top coaches in the organization hear no. So don't freak out if someone says no thanks. It just means not right now. And a lot of times those people are going to circle back around and they're going to be ready down the road. Might be a year from now, might be 2 years from now. You don't really know. So just continue building that relationship with them and be okay with that. And so if they do say yes and they say, yeah, how much does the group cost? A lot of times that will be their follow-up question. What does the group entail? How much does it cost? And this is where I think a lot of coaches kind of get stuck and slip up and the conversation starts to go downhill because we have the tendency when we get nervous to just go blah and like word vomit all over the place, right? I've definitely done it. We've all been there. We've all done that. But this is the point in the conversation where it's so incredibly vital to really shut up and not be the one talking and start asking them questions and getting them to talk and getting them to tell you why they need this group and why they need your help. So with that, we go through something called the pain funnel. So it's like, yeah, before I tell you the details of the group and fill you in on that, would you mind filling me in on your current fitness routine, if you have anything going or if you're looking to start anything new? Or maybe it's, do you have any health and fitness goals in mind? Are you wanting to lose weight? Are you wanting to build muscle, tone up? Like what do you think your goals would be with this group? So get them talking and they might give you a short response. Sometimes I have people that just like word vomit their entire life story to me and you're like, whoa, where did that come from? And it's because you asked them. It's because you're listening and you ask them a question, you give them an opportunity to open up and tell those stories, okay? If you don't ask them questions, they're not going to tell you anything. So make sure that you drill down and really, first of all, understand why somebody needs to be in this group with you and why they need your help. and keep asking questions. If you're not really getting the answers that you're looking for, then keep digging, keep asking them questions. And during this like Q&A process, you might start picking up on some objections that they would potentially throw your way down the road. So they might say something like, yeah, I used to have a class pass, but then I couldn't really afford it anymore. So I had to cancel my class pass membership. So now I'm kind of stuck and I don't really have anything to do. In my head, that would be a trigger for them telling me I can't afford to buy a challenge pack, or I don't want to make the investment for a challenge pack right now. Or they might say something like, yeah, I used to go to a personal trainer every single day, and the sessions were really long and it was just difficult for me to get that into my work schedule because I commute a lot. And so that would be a trigger in my head where I would start talking about the value of the workouts and how amazing it is that we can have 30-minute or less workouts. The shortest one is 22 minutes, like 22-minute hardcore in the back of my mind, right? And how awesome it is that we have these programs that are quick and really effective. And for that person that maybe would have thrown the objection of, I don't have time to work out, you can start talking about the value before you even get to that objection, okay? So going through this process, keep those things in mind. This is where I start talking about how Shakeology is a money saver, because a lot of times people will say, I can't afford Shakeology. But the fact of the matter is they spend $10 every single day eating out at lunch. If they just replace that with, you know, $3.50 Shakeology, then they'd actually be saving money, right? So it's combating these objections before we even get there in the process, really learning about what their struggles have been, what's not working for them, and what their goals are. Those things are so, so important. So as you go through the conversation and you are learning these things about them, maybe taking notes, then when you circle back around, you can say, they might ask you again, like, okay, so how does the challenge group work? And since we kind of like diverted the conversation from that initial question the first time, then we can go back and say, yeah, like, okay, that all sounds really great. Let me fill you in on how the challenge group works. And a lot of times I will send a voice message because I like people to hear the excitement in my voice when I'm talking about the challenge groups. And I'll maybe give them an example of one of the clients that I've worked with that just recently lost 10 pounds in 3 weeks with 21 Day Fix because she was in one of these accountability groups. Sharing stories like that kind of like triggers those thoughts in their head where they're like, oh yeah, maybe like I can do this too. So I'll send a little voice message explaining, you know, this is a group of ladies. We hold each other accountable. We each follow one of the home workout programs that we can do on our time. And then we check in every day with each other, support each other, uplift each other. And it's really a blast. It's a fun way to get connected while you're doing a home workout. So I'll send them a voice message explaining the group. Sometimes I'll type it out, but I prefer voice message. And then they usually respond back like clockwork and they're like, okay, that sounds so much fun. Like I would love that. So how much is it? And so at this point, a lot of coaches will also make the mistake where they'll be like, here, let me send you the link and you can look through everything. And I can tell you how that is going to take the conversation downhill because it's going to catch them off guard about the price point. So if you're sending someone a link without giving them any sort of expectation or any sort of value or understanding of what they'd be getting from this, then when they see a price tag of $140 or $160, they're going to freak out and probably ghost on you, which happens, okay? So what you need to do is then start talking about, and hopefully you've kind of pinpointed the type of workout that they'd be interested in. Of course, a lot of people pick 21 Day Fix because it's just awesome, but ask them that. Ask them what kind of workouts they like. And say, okay, well, the price point's different for different workouts, so what type of workouts do you usually do? And then you try and match something up with their goals. And so, you know, when you land on a workout, I'll give them the lowdown like, awesome. Like 21 Day Fix is probably going to be my top recommendation. It's actually on sale this month, so it's a great deal for everything that you get. You get the DVDs, 30 days free access to Beachbody On Demand, which is like the Netflix for all of the Beachbody workouts. I love it. It's awesome. You get the color-coded nutrition containers and the workout calendar and the nutrition guide and recipe book. And you also get 30 meals of superfood Shakeology. I usually replace it with for lunch or for breakfast. And then of course you get free access to me as a coach, and you get free access to all of my groups that I run on a monthly basis. And so by the time, and then of course you get all of that for $140 or $160. And that way they have an understanding of the price point. So you're not sending the link out to them until they are absolutely ready to buy. Until you get that verbal yes, where they're like, yes, I can commit to this. I can commit to $140. Sign me up. Then you can send them the link. Or if they come back and they give you an objection like, oh, I can't really afford that, then you can, talk to them about saving up money for the next group, or, figuring out ways where they can cut costs in other places for their monthly budget in order to afford it. And, once they commit yes, then you can send them the link and you give them a deadline and say, I'll check in with you tomorrow morning. Let me know when you submit it so I can check and make sure on the back end that it went through okay. And that way, if they don't do it and they put it off, it's not weird if you follow up with them. And, once that goes through, it's basically like the full cycle of the invite process. So it's really about getting to know the person, understanding what their needs are, driving in the value of what we are offering as coaches, because the value is absolutely incredible. We're offering somebody for $140. We're offering them personal coaching, accountability groups with a community of people that are going to uplift them, nutrition programs, recipes, online streaming of like the coolest workout system ever, and DVDs, and like this whole massive package for $140, which is way cheaper than a lot of the other competing companies that are doing similar things. So remember, like, we have incredible value to offer, and you have to make sure that you believe that in your head as you're going through the invite process. Hopefully that helps for you guys. Definitely let me know if you have any questions, and good luck on your invites.